Everything happened kind of like in like 48 hours. Man, it's just been like an emotional roller coaster.
Carmelo Anthony, aka Melo, became one of the top names in the NBA. Since he entered the league with the Denver Nuggets in 2003, he's been regarded as one of the most prolific scorers in NBA history. With a career spanning over 15 years, Melo should be looking to retire. His proposed retirement has posed a lot of questions, one of which is, will Carmelo Anthony retire in New York? In today's video, I'm going to share with you every detail of Melo's retirement. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Let's get started. Who is Carmelo Anthony? Before we get into the details of his retirement, let's take a moment to get to know Melo. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1984, Carmelo Anthony is one of the NBA's star players. In his days, Anthony became the #1 high school basketball player in the country, and in just one season as a freshman at Syracuse University, he led the team to a national title. That same year, Anthony entered the 2003 NBA draft and was selected as a 3rd overall by the Denver Nuggets draft pick, which ended up leading to him becoming one of the league's top scorers. While playing for Denver, he led the Nuggets to the playoffs every year from 2004 to 2010. The team won 2 division titles in that span as well. In the middle of the 2011 season, Denver shipped Anthony to New York Knicks in a 3-team mega trade. The move delighted Anthony, who longed to return to his native New York. He led the Knicks to an impressive 54-28 record in 2012-2013. However, since he left the New York Knicks, he's moved to the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Atlanta Hawks, the Houston Rockets, the Chicago Bulls, and Portland with the Trailblazers, where he currently plays forward. Melo's career is beyond the NBA. He's played in the Olympics for the U.S. national team a record 4 times, winning a bronze medal with the 2004 squad and gold medals in 2008, 2012, and the 2016 Olympic teams. Carmelo Anthony's retirement with the New York Knicks. Whether he's in a Trailblazers jersey or not, some Knicks fans still wish Melo was on their side of the league. Anthony, on the other hand, pictures a return, not as a player, but with his jersey retired in the rafters along with other Knicks legends. Only 8 Knicks legends have had their jerseys retired: Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Earl Monroe, Bill Bradley, Dick Barnett, Dick McGuire, and Dave DeBusschere. 6 of those players were champions with the Knicks. The other 2 are Ewing and McGuire, a Hall of Fame point guard from the 1950s. Anthony was asked if he'd want the Knicks to retire his jersey. He said with a smile, "I don't know, you gotta ask them." Then he added with a laugh, "I did glance up at the rafters today during the national anthem. You know, they say in life you've got to envision, so I was envisioning seeing Anthony hanging up there. Do I think about it? Anybody would want to get that opportunity if it's there," he said recently. "We'll see when that time comes. Hopefully they'll hang 7 up somewhere." If you ask some of the Knicks fans if Melo's jersey should be retired, you'll certainly get some positive response, but leave some room for the negatives too. Many people believe that he may have been a good player, but not great enough to be out on the rafters. Carmelo Anthony's retirement with the Denver Nuggets. At this point, you may want to call Melo greedy, but the man has worked for every achievement he's earned. He may want to be on the rafters of Madison Square Garden with the Knicks, but in the end, we all know he'll appreciate his jersey on the rafters with the Denver Nuggets. After the Portland Trailblazers and Denver Nuggets game at the Pepsi Center, Anthony said, "This is where it should be retired, to be honest with you. It's just my opinion. The history is here. This is where it all started." Though maybe not, because Joker's got number 15 now. Melo spent 7 years with the Denver Nuggets, which is the longest he spent with any team. In reality, Anthony has earned having his career raised in either the Pepsi Center or Madison Square Garden. There's a valid argument to be made to retiring his jersey in both, too. Carmelo Anthony's Syracuse retirement. Whether or not Melo gets a jersey retirement from the Knicks or the Nuggets, he can easily cross it off his bucket list. If you recall, we mentioned that Melo led the Syracuse University team to a national title as a freshman. As a key player of that team, Anthony's Syracuse jersey was retired in 2013. The event took place during the Orange's Big East Conference contest against Georgetown in the Carrier Dome. A replica of Anthony's 15 jersey was hung in the rafters amongst other Syracuse greats like Derek Coleman, Sherman Douglas, Billy Gaber, Vic Hansen, Billy Owens, Wilmasada Singh, and Dwayne Pearl Washington. It's a great thing that he's been retired in at least one of his teams. Carmelo Anthony's retirement rumors. For over a year, Melo was out of the league as no team called for him, not even in free agency. He assumed that his career was over and he was never going to play in the NBA again. During this time, he contemplated resigning. In fact, he reportedly called his agent and decided to announce his retirement if no one called. His agent, however, refused to let him announce his retirement. Luckily for him, the Portland Trailblazers reached out to him and helped him regain his love and confidence in the sport. Carmelo Anthony's fall from grace. Melo was once considered one of the top 5 talents in the game. Melo is a shell of the player he used to be and appeared so destined to be. There are several reasons why Melo's career took a turn for the worst. We can start with his brawl with the Knicks-Nuggets game, where he succeeded in throwing a punch at Knicks guard Marty Collins. Despite his actions being less violent than Nate Robinson or Jr.'s, Melo was handed the longest suspension among everyone at 15 games. He also made the mistake demanding a trade to New York after he declined a Nugget contract extension. If only he'd waited until free agency and signed with a team with better position for playoff success, he could have had the championship ring or rings that players of his caliber usually end up with. Instead, the Knicks continued to be a franchise hit by gross mismanagement right from the ownership level, and Melo had to waste his prime with them. The Knicks had a major toll in the fall of Melo's career, combined with other factors. Thankfully, the Trailblazers were able to rescue his career. Carmelo Anthony on his retirement. Melo joined the Portland Trailblazers just before the outbreak of the pandemic, so he hasn't had so many games with its team. He only signed a non-guaranteed deal with the Trailblazers in November after a weird year-long stretch where he was struggling to find a place to play. Somehow, Melo has found a way to make Portland his home. In an interview with the Tribune, he had this to say: "I'm happy. I like the group a lot. When I came in, it was like a welcome home party. I come in, it's thank you for coming from everybody. The coaches have been phenomenal with me. We talk almost every day about things I could do to help with team and with the young players, things I need to be doing. I've been on board with everybody and everything since day one." His coach, Terry Stotts, also had some nice things to say about Melo. In his words, "When he comes in, you don't know what to expect, whether he feels like he has something to prove, but he fit in right away. He's taken opportunities that are there. He's a great teammate. He passes when we need him to. He's done everything we've asked." As for his retirement, although he isn't certain when it will come, he knows for a fact that it would be with the Portland Trailblazers. In Anthony's words, "I would love this day. Feel like this is the place for me to end my career. It could have happened earlier, but it didn't. Now where I'm at in my life and career, this is where I want to retire." Lakers may trade Carmelo Anthony 2021 offseason. Melo may be planning his retirement with the hopes of staying with the Portland Trailblazers, but when a team like the Lakers comes knocking, get ready to hop on that boat. The Lakers' target this season is Carmelo Anthony, and the Lakers are reportedly hunting the league veteran with all their might. For starters, Melo was picked from the same draft that introduced LeBron James to the world, so it's no doubt that he's just as good on the court. He may not be the man he was 5 years ago when he played for the Knicks, but he certainly still has some moves that the Lakers could really make use of. Even if he had no basketball left in him, the Lakers still have a good reason to pick him. According to an NBA reporter, Melo joining the Lakers wouldn't be a surprise, she wrote. Since high school, he and James have been best friends and the two greatest players in the NBA. With Melo now 37 and LeBron 36, the two could team up in LA so Melo could finally go out with a ring of his own. The Lakers have a genuine interest in Anthony, so he may or may not retire with the Portland Trailblazers. One thing we know for sure is that Carmelo Anthony is nowhere ready to retire yet. In fact, during the third quarter of the Trailblazers' 126-124 win against the New Orleans Pelicans, a fan in the crowd had a message for the veteran. The fan said, "Carmelo, you need to retire," and Melo replied, "Shut your ass up." At least he let the world know that retirement is the last thing on his mind, and he wouldn't be going anywhere anytime soon. That's it for today, guys. This is all we know about Carmelo Anthony's retirement. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let us know when you think Carmelo is going to retire and where. We have loads of exciting content for you. You don't want to miss out.